Well, can you believe it? Approximately 100 million fans witnessing the emotional win by the New Orleans Saints in Sunday's 44th Super Bowl over the Indiana Colts. But like some watchers, my next guest always pays more attention to the commercials. For the 6th year running, he and his students crunch the numbers and score the ads based on a unique set of criteria. Joining me now from our Chicago bureau is Derek Rucker. He is a marketing professor at the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University. And Derek, had a chance to watch those commercials yesterday. Who won out?
Well, we have a panel of great MBA students who evaluate our ads, and I think coming out on top for us was the Google spot. So this was about finding romance in Paris. That was followed by the spot by Audi, Denny's, Volkswagen. Those round out our top 4. And so you see actually a pretty good show.
Because why?
So what we do at Kellogg is we actually look at ads from a strategic standpoint. So these are ads that had good branding, good positioning, good attention. So it wasn't just they were liked, but they actually did things to help build the brand and build that equity.
Hey, let me jump in here. A question for you, Professor. I read that about 100 million fans watch, and it costs about $3 million for an ad. I guess that works out to about 3 cents to reach a customer. Is that a good deal?
Well, I think it's a great deal for the right brand. The thing is, remember, it's not just that exposure. You're also getting pre-game buzz and post-game buzz. So a lot of people are talking about these ads the next day, right? This is water cooler banter and talk. And so I'm not just paying for your eyeballs at the time of that spot. I'm also paying for you to look at the ad online, maybe talk with colleagues and coworkers. And so for the right brand, that can definitely be a great price.
All right, and Professor, who should not have bothered spending the money? Who, in your opinion, wasted their time?
Well, I think the 2 brands that came down at the bottom for us, from a strategic standpoint, a missed opportunity, if you will. Number 1 was the census. So this execution really baffled our panel.
That was very odd.
It was a very odd ad.
Because it kind of like finished, and you weren't even sure if it was done or not. It was very weird. Sorry, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Well,
no, I think that's right. And so from a positioning standpoint, we were really confused. Like, what is the message here? We know what the census is, and what's the call to action? Why do you need us? What should we do? And so I think that's why it did really bad with our panel, is that strategically it just wasn't very sound.
Hey, well, what about the beaver playing the violin? He makes good and ends up in the hot tub with a great-looking blonde after his whole event. So, but I have no idea what that ad was for. I mean, you know, what happens at that point if it's kind of a funny ad that makes you laugh, but you can't even remember what it was about?
Yeah, so that's actually one of the frameworks we talk. Well, part of our framework is linkage, and surprisingly, there's a lot of Super Bowl ads that do well on attention. That is, as you said, it's funny, you're watching it, but you can't link back to that was a Monster.com ad. That's a problem. And so for our panel, that didn't do so well either for that very reason.
Derek, I do want to ask you about getting back to that Google, because that's what really made a lot of the news, this 1-minute ad that you were talking about. Google rarely advertises on television. Is this a sign that they should do more of this?
Well, it could definitely open up the opportunity. I think what they did in this campaign that was really, really good for them is that they maintained the functional benefit that people are familiar with when it comes to Google, but then they added this nice emotional layer to it, something I call laddering up. And if you want to pursue the strategy and build connections with the consumer, I think this is some evidence that they could do that. They could move up to that emotional level.
Okay, Derek, thanks so much. And, you know, that brought a little bit of a tear to my eye in that Google advertising. Derek Rucker over at the Kellogg School of Management at Northwestern University.